Okay, so this is the tallest here. Can you switch this camera to show this screen here? I'm a short guy. Yeah. So you can.
I got it.
Yeah.
That's all you have. Oh, no.
Can you? I want to show you. Awesome. Thank you.
What the heck?
Yeah,
Behind the camera now.
You want to smile?
I was alone.
You guys get a couple of markers and then it's.
Oh, yeah.
Like mine and Brett's are.
I mean, I might just go to bed like Monday, you want to go back.
I don't want to go to torture again.
This is an air pollution problem in cities. Did you open your own file? When you send me? Which one did you put on? What cities? Did you open GIS first and then watch this, or did you watch it?
Okay guys, let's start. So I promised you guys today's class will be, or today's lab will be short because some of the stuff you have in your exercise we have done last week. So we're gonna brush your work, but we're gonna do it just a little bit differently. Today we're gonna introduce a little bit more, with more details, another part of the Arcgis package, which is our catalog. We start with our catalog, but we're going to discover some little more of what it is. So, anybody knows here what does our catalog do? Just in your own words, what do you think our catalog?
We'll let you shop through a catalog.
Again?
We'll let you shop through a catalog.
No.
Well, I also get it on track.
No. Anybody? Do you remember last week, guys, what we did with our catalog?
Organizing data. They come to like organizing data.
Yes. So it's like explore for geographic data. So let's put it down here. So it's the ARC catalog, we call it the Arcgis. For managing spatial or geographic data. So, what can we do with our catalog? And I'm going to show you the difference between our catalog and regular Explorer you have or Windows Explorer that you have. Our catalog can do the following. I'm going to be doing it together. I see the camera cannot show anything, but it's okay. So it does the following. You can view, you can copy, you can move, you can delete, you can search, you can create, you can read info, you can preview anything related to your data. So it's similar when you have a song you want to look for in your music folder in your computer. You go to it in Windows Explorer, where you can delete, you can move, you can copy, you can review, you can listen to it. Similar to geographic data, our catalog has the same thing. And that's why I'm telling you today's lab is easy, it's fast, because we all do that, but in Windows Explorer. What else do I want to say here? So, also before I start working on sharing the screen in my video and go into the ArcGIS, I want also to remind you of the different data formats or the database formats. So GIS has different spatial formats. In other words, how is the data organized? How can you see it within our catalog? You remember last week we talked about two of these? Anybody remembers? What was the name of file system we used last week? What type of files did you use last week? It's the extension of the files that you used last week. When you install the zip file and extract it, what type of data you install? Yes, can you read your voice?
Shape files.
Shape files. So that's the first type of data you can have. It's GIS data, specific GIS data. So the first one is called shape files. Shape files are files together. I'm going to show you how it looks in both the different programs, in Esri and also in Windows Explorer. It has different files that create a smaller database that mainly use with vector data. And you did that last week when we did West Virginia, and we put rows, and we put the cities, and we put anything related to points, lines, or polygons. What other data file I talked about and we're going to be doing today? I just gave a hint last week. Anybody? It's a long word. Anybody remembers? Starts with a G. A geodatabase. A geodatabase, this is what we're going to be doing today. And we're going to define something inside this geodatabase, something called feature classes. Feature classes are components in your geodatabase. In a few minutes, we're going to open catalog. We're going to see that a geodatabase looks like something like this, a cylinder. That's the whole database, and every, like this cylinder is a feature class. Let's define what's a feature class. The feature class is as follows. It's a group of points, lines, or polygons that represent the same object of the same kind. so let's just put here that represent objects of the same kind. So you have a cylinder. Cylinder can include everything in West Virginia, including the columns, including the rivers, the roads, the cities, and each one of these items they have the same things. They have the same characteristics. They have the same attributes. When they share the same attributes, for example, their cities, their points, their bigger cities, then we can put them in there. They are a layer by itself when we draw it. And it's a part, one disk of this cylinder that has the same one. So you notice here the geodatabase. The geodatabase also deals with vectors. Why I'm talking about this, guys? Because later on, when you graduate, you're going to be dealing with lots of data. And it's going to create a headache. The headache of data is that you want to transfer data from your work, give it to a client, give it to another engineer. You're going to get data from the state. And you want to put this data into a database. And this is people having the senior project going to do this. They're going to go and call some companies and call some agencies, get some data, and they want to put it in some kind of database. One file missing will cause your data to be corrupt. And I dealt with tons of corrupt data. I had to go get it again, put it in a good place. And you noticed last week I gave you a bunch of shape files. Shape files are the easiest way to give data, to share data. But it's scattered and with bad coordinate system. Today we're going to put this data, just see how the data is organized into one part where you can put the files together into this big cylinder. And when you transfer it and copy it to another computer to USB, send it by email, you want this complete geodatabase to be sent. One big problem with GIS is data and how to handle data. And that's why you use catalog. And that's why I haven't known, just completely after they just talked about catalog. Because this is the way you can transfer and copy data without having this problem of corrupt. If you use Windows Explorer, there's some hidden files that you know where it's going, but in our catalog, you're going to learn how to move the whole database from one place to another. Put it in the cloud, send it to someone, zip it, and do all this stuff, but within Arcgis. Okay, so these are vectors. Are there other kinds of vector types of data? Just let's have a brainstorming session here, guys. Other than these two that we talked about, do you think there are other kinds of data that you might see here in GIS? Data that you use in other classes? Let's put it in another way. Data that Dr. Lepkish taught you about, provided in the previous class. What? Points, yeah, we do points, lines, curves, but here you want to know what type of data. When I say data here, what type of file you're giving me? You understand what I mean here? I'm sharing some work with you, two engineers. We're sharing work. What type of file are you giving me, and I open it and work with it? We talked about shape files. We talked about geodatabase. These are specific Arcgis files. What other files we can share, guys? When you do a design, what files do you use? PDFs? Well, PDFs is hard to put in GIS because PDF is more like a presentation or representation file. So PDF, well, it's going to be hard to. Sometimes you have PDF data that doesn't work. What else? AutoCAD for Cad files. So another type of data that Arcgis can use, and we use our catalog to use is CAD data. CAD can also be both, and you have to do some kind of transfer, either raster or vector. So there's some kind of transfer. And when I mentioned Dr. Lepkish, if you remember, he used to teach lots of Carlson, and Carlson had also a GIS component. Probably he talked about that at some point. ordinance and so on. Let's put some other data probably you haven't heard before, or you have, but I just want to remind you. Now let's talk about raster. We can have specific raster type of data. Another type of raster data, something called coverage. So raster and coverages. Coverage is something that you can create, and we'll create something in class. For example, we're going to create the coverage of the effect of a pollution happening in one city. Remember a few years when we had a problem with spill? We can create a coverage of the extension of this water spill around it. So it's some kind of a raster model that creates coverage. Another type of data you might have heard also from Dr. Latwich in surveying class, TIN. Do you know, guys, what TIN stands for? Triangular, right? So it starts with triangular. What's the second word? It's a very famous model used in surveying and also used in computer animation when you do the movies. Anybody knows? TIN. So it stands for triangular, irregular, networks. What does this stand for? What does it mean? It means a network of lines and points. So it's kind of a vector way to represent raster phenomena. Ooh, what's that? You know in surveying when you go and get some elevation of points? Using your surveying data, and you want to create elevations around the whole area using these points that were randomly created by using your total station and other machines. The computer creates this model where it creates some triangles passing through all these points, and using these triangles, it creates some surface. The more close the points are, the more rough surface you have, and you can have a mountain or a valley. And it creates a model of all elevations around your area. I'm not going to talk surveying today, but we will discuss these TIN networks in our classroom soon. Also, we use it, let me make it more fun here. You know, guys, the computer animation software, the one that creates the movies, Toy Story, Shrek, and all these nice movies. This is how they create the movies. And this is how the computer creates the 3D effect of the shape. You probably have seen during the making of the movie in the computer, they have the, for example, Woody, or whatever, and it's some kind of the points that create your character, and then you're going to find here some lines that create a surface around this character. They use this a lot in computer animation. So it's not only in surveying, we use it also in different other disciplines around. This TIN is one thing also we do probably Dr. Letish, maybe we did it in counseling in your class, I'm not sure, but we're gonna also discuss this in Arcgis. Any questions about this, guys? I hope you get it. I see your faces. Nice. Okay, so now let's start. Go ahead and let me share my screen, the video, and also let's now start. Did you guys install the data? Sorry, download the data, download the zip file. Did you extract the file? Everybody did that? Okay, I have the file, and let me show you the files first, and then let's start our work. Okay, so if you extract the files, probably you're gonna get this these two folders, and one file. Gonna use this file later. Don't click on it. Don't open anything yet. We're gonna do it one by one. So here you have data and my data. Usually in this kind of files for the data that I'm using, usually my data is empty. And usually when you save your work, especially when we talk about data and when we change the coordinates, you're gonna work with the data and change it. So probably gonna save it in this my data. You're gonna always find your work in data. So, and this is what I wanted to show you. So here I'm using Windows Explorer. You can see files, file that doesn't have even a program that will open it. So you're gonna see a bunch of files, and then you're gonna find something called world.gdb. GDB stands for a geodatabase. Let's first ask you guys, you can see here there are a bunch of files. The same name, US cities. What do you think these files represent? Just looking at the extensions. Say again? No, I'm talking about the type of file, the type of data you're sharing with me. If you give me this data, I look at this data. What type of data is that? One of the ones I put in the board here. Yeah, you find SHP, which stands for shapefiles. Shapefiles includes the following. The file that has the data itself, shapefile. Another file that has PRG. What do you think PRG stands for? Projection, right? Projection here gives you the coordinate information about this data. We talked about coordinate system a lot in this class. What about DDF? Every shapefile you get, every shapefiles you get, has these kind of files. DDF, what do you think DDF stands for? Anybody? Database file. Remember, when we open the file, it has an attribute table, and this attribute table has some data with numbers. This comes here in this database file. And this is what you share when you want to just share the numbers, the tables, as a database file. And it can be opened by Excel. And probably that's the only file you can see that can be opened by a program, and probably going to be Excel or Access. So the rest of the files here are different files that work together, and the map file points to it. And then let's now go to the geodatabase. So click on here, world. Do you understand any of these files? I do not. So this is what the computer creates when you have a complete geodatabase with different parts of it, with different feature classes. Okay, guys? Now let's open the same files using our catalog. So let's go together. I'm going to go to our catalog. So under ArcGIS, first one is our catalog. And our catalog is the three programs or different programs in ArcGIS work together. You can open it from each other. So some engineers love starting with our catalog, like opening your computer, like a file I gave you in Word. You can double click on it from Explorer, or open Word and then open it. So you can do it different ways. So this is our catalog. I'm gonna expand it on my screen. So probably last week we started by connecting our folder. If you remember, I created a connection to my folder. Because our catalog has to get connected to servers, sometimes the cloud, I need to do the connection first. So it's similar to the Windows Explorer. You guys all have the tree on the right, the left, and the big screen on the right. Everybody has the same. Yep. So you have the two windows. And let's remind you how to connect the folder. To connect the folder, you're gonna find once you start here that there is different folder buttons here. To connect the folder, you always go to this one here. And if you don't know the colors and the shapes of these icons, you just go and put your cursor there. It's going to tell you what is this button about. So when I connect the folder, you go here, and then you browse to your PC. And as a good exercise, I suggest you create a folder in your C called the GIS, and through every file you get, it will be directly connected to Arcgis. So, since I have it connected, I'm good. And then let's cancel here. Let's now see where is my GIS. So go to the new lab that you have and click on data. Start opening these plus, and you're gonna find these two data points here. So this is how it looks like. You find the extensions, guys. So again, start opening the plus signs to all these folders, and now you see different things you see. I've seen it a few minutes ago in Windows Explorer. You can see it now geographically. So let me show you what you see. So number one, under the word data, you're gonna find here two things. Once you click on data, it gives you everything in the folder. Let me show you what you have here. Number one, shapefile. It tells you this is a shapefile that has, as you said, the US cities. So it's a shapefile, and it's just one thing. And you can see here this icon next to it that shows me that this shapefile is a point file. Shapefile that has points in it. And above it, this cylinder thing. The cylinder is a geodatabase of the world that has some data inside. So let me show you what I mean here. If you double click on world or the plus sign next to world, or just click on word here on the right hand side, it's going to show you the different components of this geodatabase. And later on, you will learn how to add this geodatabase. And how do we do it? Part catalog does it for us. So we can create new feature classes, and we can put it inside our database. And when you share it with another engineer, you can easily just go ahead and have it in a geodatabase and then put it in one file, zip it, and then send it to him. Or just share it in the cloud or share it in the server in your company the same way. So you can see now how nice and easy to see. So now let's get to our exercise and let's see what we can do. And then let's start working. So download and extract metadata, level 4, chapter 4, from the Campus web page, and open our catalog. Also, you can probably create a Word file with your last name, tab 4, and this file will copy the results and match the Word file. So, question number 1 here, the first thing we need to do, we want to start exploring our catalog, windows and options, and connect to your local folder. We did that. And then we want to complete the file. Before I start the first one thing I missed here is that when you look at the right-hand side, the big screen that has everything, it has 3 tabs. Let me show you where these tabs are. Number 1, something called the contents. Number 2, preview. But preview didn't show anything because I'm showing the whole geodatabase. But if I go to background, it's going to show me the preview, very fast preview of the background. Exactly like Windows Explorer does right now. Sometimes you can see the file without opening it, right? Sometimes you can hear the song without double clicking on that song. Same thing there. And then comes something we will talk about today, the description. Description is something where you add, or a tab, where you can edit and add something called metadata. Metadata stands for information about your data. Sometimes metadata is very, very valuable and expensive because you're working for years, you have tons of data in your computer, but you don't remember when did I get this data. I don't remember, guys, last week the data I got from West Virginia, where I got it from, when did I get it, how did I get it? I forget. Here comes the beauty of metadata. Metadata is when you add any information you like about the data. It's very important. Sometimes you work in a company and the company will force you, once you do data, is to add as much metadata you have. You can put your name, the date, I got this data when I had an accident and my dog bit me, and anything you want to put in this data. Also, you can put information about working systems, who worked with me on this project, what's the name of the project, the data I collected, anything related to this data. So this part here, you can see under this tab, you can see here that I can print, I can edit, and this is going to do the edit today, and I can also import. We're going to also do the import today. When I have more information about my data and use it and share it with other people as well. Okay, so now let's do the first exercise here, the first question. Explore the World Geodatabase and create a thumbnail graphic for the country's feature class. And let's make an ad for it. So what's that? Well, let me show you something. If we go back to the World Geodatabase, and we go back to contents, like your Windows Explorer, especially when you view pictures, you can have different view options. Let me show you the different view options. This is one. And this is, you can see the 4 options here. First one is large icons, just show you the icons. Second one is list, right? Third one is details, show you the type of feature classes and details about your file. And then comes the fourth one I'm going to be using today. It's this one here. Large icons. It also gives you, shows you what are the different icons of your data. The first one shows a background. The second one shows some dots around the world, shows some cities. The third one, I have it because I did it last lab. You don't have it, and this is what you want to do. You want to go to these countries and create a thumbnail. You know how to do it, guys? Let me show you how to do it. I have to just move this thing here. So click on countries. And you want now to create a thumbnail. So to do that, okay, you want to try to discover it by right-clicking, by putting your mouse around here. By clicking File, by going to Properties. Anybody knows? Give it a try. You want now to have that picking, and you want to have
Yes.
I'm just giving you guys something to cover the whole.
Oh, yeah.
The whole, no, not just.
Where did you extract? I guess it was done. That's what's fine. Okay, click extract. Actually, where you want it to put some.
Okay, guys. Anybody new? Okay. I'll tell you guys. So, how to do it. I have it already, but I want you to do it. So, you go to your countries, click on preview. Once you click on preview, you're going to notice that some new icons will appear. Look at the last icon to the right. So what does this icon tell me? Create a thumbnail. So it was kind of a trick of me just to let you figure out buttons, and I want you to go around and get it. So now you can create a thumbnail that shows inside your icons, large icons here. So once I do that, so I go here and I create a thumbnail of this picture here. Let me show you something else I can do. Let's say I don't want the whole world, I want just US. So I'm going to go here, zoom around US, and this can be my thumbnail if I want it. So if I create a thumbnail, and I go back here to the World GDP contents, see now the thumbnail includes USA only, or the North American context of the world. So this is a way, you can see here, it's not exactly like Explorer, but for geographic work. And you can create a thumbnail that just looking at the file, yeah, this is the world, or I want the North American context, and I can go there, you can look here to see these are the different thumbnails of all. So create, guys, a snip of that and copy it to your Word file. Am I going so slow or so fast? Faster, I guess? Yes. Yes. Okay, so here you want people here to get the tree. Oh, you have it here? Okay. So click on the whole Geodatabase and click on large. So you don't have these countries, right? Click on countries over there. Go to preview, and once you go to preview, these are open. The last one here is when you create a thumbnail. Create a thumbnail. Get back again to contents, and go to see this is now how it looks like. Okay. Questions, you guys? I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna move a little bit faster because I did create the kind of introduction I wanted. So my dream beach destination is the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica from there, I guess, and Tahiti. Using the zoom and identify button,
like the one we had in maps. Still, we haven't went to maps yet. But I'm showing you how can you do this in your Explorer, your catalog. So we're going to use two buttons. Let me show what are these buttons here. So I'm going to show you what I mean here. So I'm going to get back to countries in the preview. And now I want to use, again, like I did before in your map, some zoom and identify to figure out where is the Dominican Republic and Tahiti. So this is my zoom. So this is exactly the same menu like I used to have before. I have zoom in and out. I have pan. I have zoom extents. And also I have this I, which is the information or define some of the information about your map. So here, what I want you to do is go around, zoom. Probably Dominican Republic is somewhere here. I don't know where exactly. So all you have to do is just play a little bit with your identify and start figuring out where is Dominican Republic and Tahiti. So open this table here. This is Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Cuba, Haiti. Here I found the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and start guys searching where is Tahiti. I don't know. Once you find it, just again create a snapshot and copy whatever you found with this table you got. So again, you didn't have to open the map, you're just exploring the data. And that's why I'm asking you to snip and snap here, because just exploring the data and putting it into your work. If you have any questions, I can answer. People are asking, where is Tahiti? Well, if you go to the one of the buttons in the names tab, you're going to find the search tab. And let's do search as well, in case you cannot find Tahiti. I will do that with you guys, so I'm going to close this. Next to this tree button, you're going to find a button with the name search on it. Let's search for Tahiti. Can you do that? So I'm going to go here. And once I do that, it's going to open here a search. Next to this, I can have search options. And I can figure out what are the folders you want to search from. So I'm going to figure out here that I want to add here I added my World Geodatabase to my search because it's going to search throughout your whole computer if you do not specify which one you want to search at. So I was searching in my Geodatabase. I did add, and I added my search Geodatabase. And here I click OK. Click on Index New Items and Apply. OK. And now let's search for Tahiti. Oh yeah, it's still indexing. I'm sorry about this. So when I said index new items, and start creating an index. I need some minutes here for my computer to start indexing, and that's why I didn't find it. But then there's a time to go there, right? And anybody found the easy guys?
One says it's in the French Polynesia and then after. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't give that specific.
It's not a country, it's not.
It's no island, right?
Yeah, it's French Polynesia.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So you found it. The snip and awesome.
There was New Zealand. There's no.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you can
more search, no each.
How do you get this?
Yeah.
It's like a little dot on the very left. It's a dot sign.
I couldn't find it on my. Okay, guys, so somebody to publish or use Unity instead of which is next in the picture. Okay, here comes the fun now. We're going to go to the cities dataset. So we're going to go to cities. And under description, we need to add some additional metadata. And here you can add as whatever you like. So here you go to description, the third tab in the cities data, and click on edit. You want to change the name, you want to change more information, spend a few minutes, guys, to add this information that is specific to you, maybe the tech. And once you're done, just click save, and then click import, and you're going to have an import file of this. Keep this file, you're going to submit it with the Word file. So here goes what you do here. I'm going to go here instead of say, let's say, world cities, or let's say world major cities. You have different tags. We can update the thumbnail if you wanted. If you want to have some description, add to this description. You can see here, this data set was accessed by CE375. My name is so and so. Credits is to my amazing professor, Dr. Ahmed Muhammad, right? Just kidding, don't do that. And once you're done, just add this is called metadata, information and updates about your data. How do you get that? You go to what cities, description, edit, and you start editing. Add as much information as you want. Once you're done, guys, then click save. And once you click save or exit, no, save your work here. If you don't like your work, just click exit. It's going to save the new information, and then it will, you can now start importing this. So I'm going to import as well. No, it's export. Sorry. No. Forget about importing it, guys. Forget about importing it. So, so more discussion here, just showing you how to do this immediately. Let's now move to the next question. Now, can we open Arcmap from Arcgis? From our catalog? Yes, you're going to find the nice blue globe as one icon. Click on this icon, it will open our map. And now I'm going to do what we did before. Open Arcmap within our catalog and add data of the world by drag and drop. So all you have to do, I'm going to put them together, is just drag and drop. So easy. So I'm going to take this, put it to one side. This is how I like to put my work. And where is our catalog? Haven't opened yet. So open a browse for a brand new map. So go here to new maps, create a blank map, okay, and put them side by side. So I have on one side Arcmap and the other side our catalog, and just grab your file for the cities, for the background, for the countries, for the lat long, and just take it and put it on your Arcmap. And now you can use them like we did before. So we have now two ways of adding data to our map. So go here to background, cities, countries, lat long, and let's also add the shape file of US cities. And always, as a good trend, keep the points above the lines, above the countries, so you can see your map. So let's do this together. So I'm going to put here the US cities on the top, world cities above, below it, lines, and then countries, and then background. And by default, ArcGIS gives strange and crazy colors to that. You can fix that and then deal a lot with symbology. How to change the symbology. We did that already, very, very briefly, but we'll do more in this class. Okay. Then make a search for pollution data. We can create a search for pollution data. So again, like I showed you in search, like we did in search before. So we go to the search in our catalog and just search for the word pollution. To get the search tab, you're going to find a search icon in your catalog, similar to the search in your Explorer. It's the one with the blue dots here. It's going to give you the search menu on your side. Make sure that you tell the computer where is your search folder. Once you've done that, then you are able to search around for it.
What did your options do?
You want to add the folder, if you left it like this, it'll search out the whole computer. So you want to just search without the unique tabs. Let me do it again, guys. So I'm going to go here for search. I click on search options, and I click add, and I go here to World Geodatabase, the same way I added your data, and click select. So I now have it here. So I have it twice. I'm just going to remove it. And before you leave this window, you have to index new items. So new items will be automatically indexed in your search.
And then
No, ma'am. So now you can search for anything, just put any word. Let's put pollution here. It's the same pollution data we did in our previous lab. Yes. This is showing layers. Now it's layers. We want now to show all this stuff. And don't forget, guys, also add the shape file to your map. So add the cities, the US cities shape file. Okay, guys? Any questions? Don't do any snipping here. I'm just training you how to use this search because sometimes it's a lifesaver.
Yeah, I mean, they're only one. Yeah, just cool.
Okay, your question is perfect. So what does it give me? Well, and here comes another thing. Now you're going to look for where the pollution is. So one other thing you can see without going to the map is not only how it looks like, you can see also the table, the attribute table, where the pollution is. Because I was asked, okay, what does it give me? So let's see where the table is. If you go to the countries, and you're going to find on the lower part the word geography preview. What do you want to preview? The geography or a table? So if you click on table, it gives you the attribute table you see in Arcmap, just for review reasons. You cannot edit it here. Later on, we will edit that in Arcmap. So now when you click on the search result, it should take you where the pollution is. Yeah, so click now the search result. searching for something now. If not, no. Okay, guys. I'm gonna for question E, you now have to do it now. So I'll ask you to do it again. If not, I have a shortcut for it. You might use it if you like. Using two data frames like we did last week. One containing US cities level of pollution, and other containing the world pollution levels. Create a neat landscape map showing both frames, one arrow, two scales, and legend. Upload this PDF file separately. So here, we're going to create a map. Do you want a shortcut to do this to make this tab easier and faster? Double click on the map file that you already have. So let's go here. Double click on EX4. It's going to open a new map that is kind of having all this information since you are all experts in that. All you have to do is just fix the data. Let me show you how to fix the data. And then you're ready to start working with it. Fix the data, and you can see here there's data that's broken, and you can see it's broken when you have here in this table of contents, the red dot here with an exclamation mark showing that the data is not right. So all you have to do is just go to any layer that has this problem and right click and data, repair data source, and it's gonna go here. So this is major cities. Click on the shape file you have, click add, and it should fix all the links, So now you have a shortcut for a map that has already a north arrow, that has two frames like we did last week, and also it has some kind of a symbology. Why did I go to this shortcut? Because we're going to do more symbology next week. Do you have a second frame?
I had two, but then I added that only.
Okay. Close the file without saving it. And open it again. But I can show you how to create a new frame. I'll show you both actually. You don't have a second frame. Okay, to add a new frame, go to your insert menu, data frame. It's going to add a new data frame to your, this is a new data frame, and you can copy whatever data from here, put it here. If you want to right click and properties, you can rename it. Let me show you. It's called here world map. And all you have to do, you right click properties. Let me show you how. So here you go to right click and properties. And you can change the name of this new data frame. And then you go to any of your layers that you have in the other frame, right click, copy, here right click and paste layers. So you can copy and paste whatever layers you have to exactly look like the one you see here on the board. Again, guys, why did I do this shortcut? Because we did not yet work with symbology. These colors, we did that, but we didn't do it with the same way you can see with some ranges or numbers for pollution. And we will do that in detail by the next few weeks, which we call here symbology. And then the questions here, we did it 2 times ago. So I want you guys to do it. I won't talk a lot here. In Arcmap, do the following. Explore the attribute table, rearrange the fields, and then sort them in descending order. I'm talking here about the US cities files. We want to select the 10 most populated cities. In USA, your case in USA, so it's the 10 most populated cities, either in the US or the world. because I have some people here for some reason they don't have the US cities, the world cities. Show the selected cities, snip that to a Word file, and then show some statistical analysis. We did this in our first lab of these cities. Also snip and put in your Word file. Finally, the last question, using the attribute table of the cities layer, isolate only the most 10 popular cities in the world, create a new layer of these cities, and create a world map of these cities. In your case, look for the 10 most popular cities in USA. Okay? Yes. But you have it here already. You need to fix it first. You need to fix the data source. So you do right click here, data, prepare data source. Oh, you did that already. Just so this is the US major cities, so this is US cities. Okay. So it fixed already. And then you need to copy whatever folders you have here and paste it in the new data frame to show up in the new created here. Exactly like the one I have. Copy and paste. Copy whatever you want here. Copy whatever you want. Copy the ocean. You need to copy it first. You're not going to have the ocean. You need the country. Yes. Yes.
No, you have to put it. And two zeros on that.
And guys, if you're done, then you have this very silly homework. 2 questions that you have to answer, and I answered this question already before. So if you want to do it now, if you want to do it later, the homework is due next week. So you have more time for the homework. If you finish the exercise, then just upload it. You have to 2 files, only 2 files, the PDF for the map, and also the Word file. Yes. Yes. It's easy. I know. It's just I'll give you a shortcut.
Oh,
Cities. The 10 you did that right. You have the 10 most popular cities isolated to the layer, use the statistics. All the attributes. This one uploaded before. Yes. Yes. So you just need to take all these stuff. No big deal. You need statistics for one column. So for the area, for what? The road population, That's a bit. Yeah, I give you a shortcut to have everything. But last week's work, every week we're gonna add work arrow. You can skill, different skill, skill already, legend, title, and another thing. Okay? And then ready. It's all under the insert menu. Everything going into this layer. Yes.
Any other areas? How do I make it just show the?
Need that you want to turn off the light.
Oh.
Otherwise, so this is your city inside the world. Do exactly the same as the GIS cities. Layer 4. Could be the same. We check the city of the world. Oh, show me your catalog again. The catalog. So that's the background. That's it. That's the one down there. So the world is it's like you correct the world. I think then you both set the views. So you can now copy the cities, grab it, and put it in your map, and use this. We are not saying that. Say that is just saying we really export. My God, sorry. So here we export the Hope you guys are enjoying the software, enjoying creating beautiful maps. You're going to be doing more of your own maps soon. We did that last week in West Virginia. Next week we're going to do something in Florida, and then Texas, and then Europe. Let's have these. Then go to layers. Right click. Right click layer. Selection. Layer. Layer. So what's the most populated city in the USA, guys? What's the most populated city in the US? Oh, Charleston. Yeah, there's two. New York? Yeah. So what's the most populated city in the US? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to go to where the population field is. No, the table that we did for your cities, open attribute table. You need to go to where the field of population is. Highlight it. Choose one, and then right click. And yeah, sort descending. Sort descending. Not from the right. And now you can pick up the 10 most populated cities. And hit them, yeah. Awesome. And then isolate it. Now you have them isolated. Get back to the map and show me how they look like. So here, this city, then US. You should find like blue cities highlighted in the US. I see most of them in New York and the West. And then you want to create now a layer from your selected. These are selected. Selected means they're highlighted in blue. So right click here, go to selection, create layers from selected features. So now you have a new layer here, selection. You can change the names, new layer. Exactly the same data, but new layer. So you can change the name, you can change this stuff to something else, and you can turn off the original one because this one is the later. So it just shows here the 10 most populated cities in the US. You can change this blue dot to something different blue dot. You can have another set of symbology. What color you like. Any other cities shows here, you can
Just came Thank you.
because it doesn't show this should show the US. So you need to zoom here, zoom like here. So now see now what you put here, 10 more cities in the US. Okay. you want another good idea, if you want to change this, put it here to show the US. No, copy and paste. So different slides, different. So now it's here. So now you can hold this up, show well. It shows now 10 minutes back in the city. Okay? Yes.
Welcome.